Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is my Dishonored Death of the Outsider, very hard difficulty, Merciful Ghost walkthrough. This is the first mission of the game, and it is called One More Fight. We're going to be starting aboard the boat, and we're going to be moving from this starting location to the vehicle that will ferry us to the combat zone, where we'll start doing the stealth, and we'll start doing the standard Dishonored fare. So, if you're new to my videos, and you've never seen any of my previous Dishonored walkthroughs, to give you an example of what this is, I'm going to be going through this campaign. I'm going to be, of course, getting the Ghost bonus, which is no detections. I'm going to be getting the Merciful bonus, which is no kills. But on top of that, I'm going to essentially be using nothing but the blink, which is called Dissolve in this game. I'm not going to be using the upgrades. I'm not going to be using the other special abilities. I'm not going to be using anything, basically. It's going to be as minimalist as I can make it. Get through the game on the hardest difficulty, minus all the custom stuff, and do so using the least amount of things accessed to me at that time. And hopefully what this will do is it will give you some strategies that can help aid your gameplay, and you can then take it and add your own spin on it and hopefully see some success. But this very first mission is rather unique in the game, so much so that you do not have your abilities. So this is as pure as the stealth can be. And it's going to involve a lot of bottle tossing, a lot of interesting dynamic AI reactions, and quite a lot of frustration. So what I did just then, I recommend that you save frequently, guys, when you want to test out something like this, because when you throw that bottle, sometimes the AI reacts differently. Sometimes it does what you want, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does the strangest things, other times it does the most predictable things. It can be a very difficult game to get consistency in, outside of, specific strategies. But whenever you use a distraction, you're essentially signing yourself up to a circus, and there's no guarantee what's going to happen. I've had times where I've put a save before I've done a distraction, and the enemies have all gone different ways. I've had times where they've all instantly known where I was. I've had times where they walked a path that was nowhere near where the distraction was, and then they spun immediately around and saw me instantly. I've had so much strange things happen in this game when it comes to the distracting mechanic that I wholeheartedly dislike it. And luckily enough, after we get past this mission, when we do get the blink ability, there's going to be less of that featured in this walkthrough. But it's something to think about when you need to do certain things. If you're having trouble getting past a particular spawn of enemies, or a particular pattern, or a room that's got some really unfortunate placements and they don't seem to move, think about throwing something to get them to move. Think about running and making your footsteps noisy so they hear them and they come towards the source of the noise. Think of all kinds of ways to kind of make the game play the way you want it rather than the way it wants to play. All of these will help you, and they will help you see success through this campaign. The game itself is quite taxing in a lot of areas. It's difficult in some ways, perhaps not for the best reasons, but difficult nonetheless. And as you push forward here, when you open this doorway, there's a chance the person behind you can see you. There's also a chance that these two people here can spot you too. So make sure you shut the door so you don't get any unwanted attention. And be careful. Did you see then? Their alertness was moving up even though they couldn't see me. So I recommend leaving saves before you do any of these kind of movements, just so that you can make sure that it goes the way you want it. And you'll notice that there's going to be the occasional jumps between positions like you saw just then and on the previous one. The reason for this, guys, is when you come out of saving, the menu does this fade to black, and during the fade to black you can move. And I didn't realise this when I was playing, because I was just too busy trying to, make the videos and everything. So when it's come to editing it together, it makes the gameplay jump a little bit. So if you're wondering if you spot a jump, it generally means that there's been a save there. And I recommend that you save as frequently as you can. The tooltips recommend you save as well. This is a very trial and heavy type of game, and if you're watching what I'm doing right now, did you notice how her alert bar of that dog almost filled? It got just about to the limit of what it could be, and then it stopped. There could be 5 attempts where you try what I just did, and the dog sees you. That's the reason why saving is so important. That's also the reason why shit just doesn't work the way it's supposed to work sometimes. So if you're trying to emulate what I'm doing in these videos, you need to take everything with a pinch of salt, because sometimes the game is just really janky. But if you stand in the neutral territory after throwing the distraction, a wonderful thing's going to happen now. This woman's going to come down the stairs, she's going to come all the way down the stairs into the neutral zone, and we're going to pickpocket her without her being pissed off at all about it, and then we can continue on and the level's practically done. To get this particular strategy took a while because I was trying all kinds of fancy stuff to grab the key from her, and the room that she stood in was the first example of, I believe, pretty cruel pattern in this game. She moves into this corridor and does one of 3 particular turning routes. They all seem to be random. You can save and see what she does the first time, reload, she'll do something different. There's no consistency, and the guy who's in the room is always staring at her, so he gives you no openings to do anything. Like, it's a very cruel pattern, but when you do what I did there with the distraction, it's very simple, very easy, and you can unlock Dowd, and then it's going to trigger the next sequence in the level. So, after Dowd and you are best buddies again, once you go up this staircase, there's going to be some guards shooting at this particular group of people. This guy's going to fly past you like that, and then they're all going to back away, turning around. Each of these guards moves to a preset position. I like to go on the left-hand side, drop down into kind of the alleyway, climb up that vehicle, climb onto the girder, and then make my way around the streets on that side. But once again, guys, I recommend that you save before you do any kind of moment like this, because the mistakes come really quickly in this game, and the load time is about 35 seconds on Xbox One, which I think is completely disgusting considering how difficult this game can be if you get a bad pattern, if you get bad AI, if you get a frustrating experience. And this happens a lot. Let me tell you, my first practice run of this game was a nightmare. It was filled with moments where the AI just were in the worst possible patterns. It was completely hellish and it took a long time. On this recording run, I didn't come across any of those rare, fluke, dynamic AI moments, and a lot of the levels flowed really well. So it's one of those things where these strategies will definitely help you and give you a perspective that might be different to your own, but you need to be aware that the game can just decide to screw with you, basically, and if it does that, it can be very difficult. And speaking of this moment right now, I had a strategy coming into this room that doesn't work on this run because the people are in different places. I had the black guy on top of the vehicle looking at me, so all I had to do was move forward now, go up to where he couldn't see me, throw the bottle, he turned around, and then I could move up the left-hand side. Well, now he's at the left and he's never moved, so I had to completely come up with a new strategy because the AI was different. And you could face this as well, guys, so if you're having trouble, it's just the game, man. It can be very, very difficult. So if you have the guy there on the left and that guy there, what you can do is you can throw the glass to distract this way. So the guy behind me, now I've waited, isn't going to hear it, but he does. He's then hopefully going to move towards it. If he doesn't, he might turn around. Be careful. We're going to climb on this. We're going to walk up and then climb onto the left-hand side. And then there's one guy just in front of us, but luckily enough, he's kind of deaf and his periphery's not very good. So we can sit on top of this piece of wood here, and then we can formulate the next strategy. So, to our left, there is a stack of enemies, and I know that I can get them to move into this area and give me a free zone. So I throw the bottle there, and I'm going to take a gamble now and go under that open doorway. The person on the left doesn't see me somehow, don't know why, maybe she does you, reload, try again, the game is random. And then I'm going to move into this area. When I smack this wood, it's going to alert a lot of people. All of those people are going to come investigating through the door that I passed to get into this zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for all of them to come into this area. And on my previous run, everybody did, but on this one guy was left behind. So what I do is I'm going to peek under this shutter to my right. I see one guy left behind, he kind of sees me, he turns towards me, and it gives me an opening to go around the left-hand side and walk behind him. So do you see him just there? I'm going to check for anybody else, there's nobody else, and then as I peek out again, he sees me. So because it went quite red, it means he's going to definitely be inquisitive, so I can come under this shutter, open this door, and he's too busy looking that way. And I have a free path now all the way out of the level, and you're done. And it looked easy, didn't it? And I hope you get an easy pattern where nobody sees you, where everybody's stupid, where it all just works beautifully. But you need to be aware that there are times in this game where that does not work, and you're going to suffer because of it. So don't let it get you down. You know, grit your teeth, get through it, you'll be fine. And you've done arguably one of the harder missions in the game because you didn't have access to Blink, and Blink's what makes this game so fun. But there you go, folks. We got the tick on the Merciful, we got the tick on the Ghostly. If you want to check at any point of the mission to make sure that you have definitely got both of those ticks, if you pause the game and go to stats, it will show you if you've been detected, if you've killed anybody, if you've done anything like that, and as long as they all say 0, you will get the achievements and the trophies at the end of this game. And that's all we're working towards, guys. Nice and easy. Thank you for watching. You take care now.